Hey guys, so welcome to our Thursday huddle, aka it was moved to Tuesday, which is totally fine. Sometimes things happen, but thank you guys for being patient with us and working with us on that. I wanted to first go ahead and start with team promotions. I want to go ahead and start with our Wickless Scents team. We had four certified consultants promote, and that is awesome. Those are four newbies that had joined us in the month of August, all of them, August, and all of them promoted to certify, which that means is that they sold $1,000 in PRV and they got their first permanent promotion of
Awesome.
5. So Adria Ward, Rebecca Atkinson, Sandy Pacchio, and Catherine Henderson. Those were our four certified consultants in the month of August. We also had one lead consultant promote, which was Cassandra Mitchell. She worked super hard and she earned that promotion. She's on fire yet this month. And we also had another promotion that was a star consultant, Jessica Carball. She worked as well super hard. She's been waiting and earned that that promotion. So congratulations to you, ladies.
Congrats.
For promotions. You guys worked super hard and we're super proud of you, and we see you guys working this month as well. And I know that Miss Anna has some promotions as well.
We did, and again, these are from August. Presented by Faith. We had Taylor K. She promoted to lead, and then so did Bethany C. Also promoted to lead consultant. Then we had Miley H. She promoted to certified. And then I want to shout out some that were paid at title as well, because that is also super important. And we're kind of going to be talking about that tonight. So Taylor O, she was paid at title as superstar consultant, and Brooke R at lead, and then Amanda C at lead. So super huge to be paid at title. So congrats to everybody.
Congratulations. Next. Sorry, I had to let my dog in. So this meeting that we really wanted to go over really well is basically what it means and why you want to promote. That right now is super important because we all know the obvious. If you promote, you are going to be making more money. And I know that regardless of what brought you to Scentsy, that is something that is probably the most important thing to us is money. Also, we are going to go ahead and talk about, do you watch your downline? There's some of you guys that I have realized with coaching or going and talking to you guys that maybe you're not doing this. This is very important. And we're going to talk about knowing where they stand and what their next promotions are, because it is really, you should be doing this. If you're not doing these things and you're not watching your downline and you're not paying attention on what they're doing, then you can be missing out on a lot of opportunity, not only for yourself, but for your teenies as well. It is really important because right now we are, we're in the middle of an incentive, as we are in the middle of something really huge. And to be honest, this incentive, everyone should be earning level 1. Everybody should be pushing super hard, because you don't even need sponsoring points for that. So I really am loving the numbers that I'm seeing right now. We have 5 or 6, it might be 6 whole months that we have to work on this. So everyone should be hitting that goal. You guys should be looking at your incentive tracker. You should be looking at that, knowing where you stand. And then you need to be looking at your reporting tab, and you need to be looking at your downline, so that way you know where they stand, because you can also earn points for them as well as they promote, as you lead them and help them promote. One thing before I hand this over to Miss Anna to talk about the reporting tab that I wanted to say was that I see so many consultants end up missing their promotions because they're not paying attention. That is why I try to be sure that I'm looking at that reporting tab every day. I make sure that I'm trying to look at these things, because you guys, if it wasn't for me saying, hey, so-and-so, did you know that you're literally $10 away from hitting certified? Or did you know that you were $10 away from hitting lead consultant? And it happens. Sometimes, I mean, I can't be looking at that all the time. And sometimes I need to work the next morning and I go to bed, but yet you guys put in those last minute orders, not realizing you're not looking at that stuff, and you guys don't end up promoting. And then you have to start all over. So if you were pushing for a lead consultant, you're going to have to get that $500 in again, and you're going to have to try to work with your team to make sure you get that 1,000 GWV for that lead consultant. So that's why we chose to talk about this today, because it is really something that you guys need to get in the habit of checking and looking at your guys's, not only your own promotions and what stands between you and that. So I'm going to hand this over to Anna, and she is going to talk to you and show you some golden nuggets about the reporting tab.
All right, so the reporting tab, and if y'all don't know where that's at, for like compliance reasons, I'm not able to like pull up my workstation and show, because I don't want to show any of my stuff. I don't want to show any of you guys information, you know, your stats and all that. So I'm not gonna be able to pull that up, but I do have an image I can pull up. But I mean, on your workstation, when you have those tabs on the left there, I mean, you're just gonna go to reports and reporting, and then you're gonna see, oh gosh, performance. I think it's performance. And then you're going to have all your reports on the side, on the left side. If you don't have a team, you're not going to see a whole lot on there. But if you do have a team, there's already some preset that Scentsy has on there, and then you can create your own as well. We can get into that another time, but there are just some basic ones Scentsy has on there that you should check every day. And I am going to pull up an image. So I'm going to try to share my screen for like the first time ever. So let's try this. And then y'all can tell me if you see this. Can y'all see that?
Yes.
Okay, sweet. All right, so this is kind of what you're going to see. This is just general reports. Go to reporting tab, and then it's going to be under save leadership reports after you hit view my performance. And those four right there, the sensational start, essential to certified, shooting star promotions, are the ones Scentsy already has on there. So, I mean, they're set up. You don't have to do anything. So if you do have a team, you're going to be able to go in there and see their names. It's going to have their join date, what their sensational start date is, or shooting star date, where their PRV is at, as far as seeing whether they're essential, where they're at going to certified, that kind of thing. So those are ones that, you know, I'm checking daily. For sure, because since he already has it set up, I don't have to make a report myself. So it's definitely one that those you want to look at daily. And let's see. And then of course, I'm already looking at reports to see where I am, because when you first hit the view my performance, it's going to have all your stats. It's going to have your PRV, your PWV, your TWV and GWV. Most of y'all would be the same. Mine's the same. Jen's is different. It just depends on where you are as far as title. And then how many active frontline you have, your lifetime PRV, which is nice to see and watch that. So I always look at that daily. I mean, that's something I say, look at news tab daily. I pull reports daily. I think Jen does too. Mm-hmm. And then I also kind of do some shout outs. I'm going to look at my frontline, and I'm also look at the whole team, the entire downline. Frontline, if you guys are new, or some people that I have personally sponsored or have rolled up to me. Downline is everybody under everybody. So I will glance at both of those, spend more time on my frontline really, but then I will glance at my downline, see where people are at, kind of glance at the GWV and see if somebody is close to promoting, just kind of having the numbers in my head of what they need. And then shouting them out on the team page, you know, whether they recruited, if they're close for promotion, that kind of thing, for extra motivation. Kind of went over the shooting star, sensational start, certified, and I think that's kind of it. So let me see if I have another image I can show you real quick. Let's see. Yeah, like pulling, this kind of good example of pulling like top PRV. I mean, if you just go in there and you can pull a top sales that's already under there in the reports as well. So you can see that. This is already in there as well, already on there for Scentsy is put there for the top sponsors. You can see who sponsored that month. You can go back with this little toggle here and change the month. Same thing. I think this is kind of the same thing, showing the top PRV. So I put that in there twice, but let me stop the screen share. Okay. And then I am going to throw it back to Jen. I know I'm kind of going fast. We're going over, we got a lot of stuff to go over. So if you have any questions, make sure y'all type it in the chat. And then I'm going to end up sharing that Google Drive that I was in afterwards, and I'll link it in the comments as well. And I'll share it on both team pages. So don't worry about those images. You will get those.
Before I start talking about my next topic, I do have two directors under me. So I do want to touch on this just briefly, is whenever you're going to your reporting tab, it just came to me, and this is something that, in case you don't know, or those of you who are going to be promoting to director this year, it is very important that you know. But when you go to your reporting tab, you can do view team. Team and groups are completely different. That's when you're a director and above, and you start getting other directors under you, you're going to have that separated. So those of you that are on Sheila's team, those of you that are on Ashley's team, on my team, I can't see their numbers because they're directors. So I'm only seeing my actual team under my reporting tab. If you want to see your whole team, and this is as you start getting other directors under you, you will have to go to that reporting performance tab that Anna mentioned. And then that's how you're going to see everybody there. You can scrunch things together, check their GWV, and do all that. And I just wanted to make sure I mentioned that. Make sure you guys play with that after we get off. The reporting tab will be your best friend, because that's where you're going to see where you stand, where your team stands, and where your numbers stand, et cetera, et cetera. So I just wanted to briefly mention that.
Let me jump in real quick before you move on, because I thought of something as you're saying that too, because I actually created my own little separate report, and I could try to find a training. There might be some on the workstation actually on how to create a report yourself. And it's kind of simple. Do what?
Justin has one that's really good.
Okay.
We can share that one.
Okay. Yeah, it took me a while to play with it a little bit so I can figure out what to do, but I have one, I call it my OG frontline. And so that's when I just have that, and I can choose what information that I want in there as well. So super helpful, but we'll find that video. I'm gonna make a note right now so that I can share that one, but go ahead, Jim.
Okay. Let me go back. I was just texting Gary to come get this stuff. Okay. My next is how to help your downline promote. Guys, this is going to be super important for you guys right now. The thing that I like to do, of course, I'm going to say it again, is every single day, like Anna said, I check my reporting tab, because I want to know how close my consultants, my downline, are to their next promotion. When you go to your reporting, your performance tab, it is so important to click on your GWV, and you can glance down and see how many they need. So you can reach out and say, hey, Stacy, you only need an active frontline of 200 to promote to lead, or et cetera, et cetera. I make sure I do that daily. That is something when I wake up in the morning and when I go to bed at night, that is something that I intentionally look at. So that way I can make sure that I'm reaching out to my downline. Another thing that you can do with your teamie is those who are thriving, those who want to, make sure you guys are making a plan with your downline. It is really important that you guys make a plan, help them come up with a way. If they're lacking PRV or they're lacking trying to sponsor someone, talk to them, give them ideas. You guys can make a plan together. It is super easy. It is something that you can do even in messaging, but just reach out to them, let them know, hey, you only need an active frontline. What can I do to help make that happen? Let's make a plan. How about you give them a goal and say, hey, message 10 people today and see, and just bring it up in conversation about if they would like to join Scentsy. You can give them, there's so many ways that you can go about it. Give them ideas, help them out, but make sure you are working with your teamie. Some of them who are just trying to get to certified, offer doing a relaunch with them. If you offer them, say, hey, you know what? Christmas collection's getting ready to come out. You are so close. You're $200-300 away from hitting certified. They may have been a consultant for 6 months. That is okay. Do a relaunch. I am doing that right now with a handful of my girls. I have a few people who were, life happened and they're getting back into the groove of things, and I'm offering to help them do a relaunch party. There is nothing wrong with that. Help them, ask them, is it okay if you can help post in their groups? So definitely make sure you offer that to them, help them out. I'll be honest, some of these girls I found out or who have rolled up under me, I realized that they were just nervous. They didn't know what to do. They fell off because they didn't know where to dive in. Make it easy for them. Make sure you talk to them, help them out, and make it so where they're not knowing, like make sure they know where to go from where they're at that point. Your downline should be probably your top priority right now, other than your PRV, guys, because of the incentive. So did you know that if you had someone who promotes to lead, star, superstar, consultant, director, you guys will also earn points? You guys, I'm not going to quote points right now because I haven't looked at the breakdown of that, but it is really important when they promote. I'm pretty certain that you guys get 1,000 points, but I could be wrong on every single level. So it's good to work with them. That is a way, that's your reward for helping them. You will get points. And I'm telling you right now, when you earn your first incentive, it'll hands down be the most magical thing that you could ever imagine. So some of you guys are doing amazing already. So they get points and you get points, so make sure you're helping them out. And one thing that I do want to make sure that I tell you guys is as a leader, and that means if you sponsor someone, regardless if you have the title of lead consultant or not, you guys need to be looking at that reporting tab, looking at their numbers, and you need to be shouting them out. It is not just mine and Anna's responsibility to be shouting everybody out, especially with all the different teams that we may be getting under us. It is really, truly your job as a leader to be recognizing them, shouting them out, make them feel special, because it is your responsibility. You sponsored these people. I do make sure I catch everyone, but there's going to be times where, because our teams are split up, I will miss people. But you guys, certified consultants, leads, stars, all of you guys should be looking at your team, preparing. And by doing this, you guys are getting yourself ready for the director role. So you guys should be practicing. And I want to also throw in there, and I didn't even have this in our notes, is guys, with that being said, if you are doing something in your business that is working for you, make sure you share it to your team pages, the Scented by Faith or the Wickless Scents team, because what works for you may actually help somebody else, may actually help some of your downline, and we're better together. It isn't just about me and what works for me, because you know what works for me may not work for Anna, and vice versa. What she works for hers may not work for me. So it's really nice to have everyone dump in their ideas onto the team page and work together, because we can really come up with some great ideas or make a spin-off of it.
Right.
I think that's it. That's all I got for that.
All right. And Chrissy, I do see your question. I'm going to get to that one after I talk about the Google Drive one more time and show y'all what else is in there that I put in there. Just stuff I've kind of thrown together, which I think would be helpful as far as knowing how to promote and that kind of thing. And then we'll come back to your question. But I did put the Google Drive in the chat. So if you're able to, you can go and save it, but I make sure I post it in the team pages as well. So I'm going to share my screen one more time.
Anna's tech savvy. That's why she's sharing right now.
This is the first time doing it.
Okay. Promise.
All right. So when you first get it, this is what it's going to be called, how to promote. And this is what it's going to look like. And then I have just some general images here, but you can go into what I was in earlier, the pulling reports. And there's a lot of helpful information in here. Sorry, these are numbered. They're backwards, but just pull them up, the first one, and they kind of go in order. But it's kind of going to go over, performance tab, downline report, that kind of thing. It's kind of 101, and I'm going the wrong way. Talks about, again, sensational start, top sponsor. Some of these are just helpful images you can save to your phone. Just keep access with them here in the Google Drive. You already saw those. And then I've got promotions, just kind of some breakdowns. Being projected title, your title, projected rank, the difference between those. Promotion pro tips, and being paid at title, that kind of thing. And then this is kind of like another visual of our compensation plan. So, and then there is one more. There's not. And then you've got calendars in here. Okay. If you want to if your next promotion should be superstar consultant, this is how much GWV, that's you and your team together, your group wholesale volume every day, what it should be. Because I track mine as a director, and I kind of keep up with one for star director as well. They're both in my happy planner. So I've got all these in here. For that would be for star director, star consultant, for lead, they're all in here. And you also have these I put in here as well. Just another little breakdown of how much PRV, how many active frontline you need, how much GWV, that kind of thing to get to these next titles. So all that is going to be in this Google Drive. And again, I will make sure to post it in the team pages so you guys have access to this, and I can add to it. Jen can add to it, or whatever we need to do over time as well. So let me stop the share. Okay, so I don't know if you can see this comment. I might let you go first on this one. Okay, I know this is going to sound dumb, and it's not dumb, Christy. No question is dumb. So y'all are saying that you communicate directly with Downline, that you don't directly sponsor.
You want me to talk about that one?
Yeah.
Absolutely. The reason why I'm saying that is because not everybody works their business the same. I have seen so many countless times where people sponsor people and they leave them hanging. So if I notice that happening, or if I just notice someone rocking it out and I'm reaching out to them, I'm not stepping on any toes, because it doesn't really benefit me. But I don't want, that could be your next rock star director. That could be your next rock star teamie who starts spreading and growing and doing all the things. And I have that happening on my team now. So I don't hesitate on reaching out to people who I didn't personally sponsor. If they join your team, if you've noticed that your teammate has not added them to the team page, if they, you can tell that they're not doing anything, reach them out to them. Say, hey, I'm so-and-so. I am your star director. I'm so-and-so sponsor, or so-and-so. Introduce yourself. Let them know how you are connected to them, and offer your help, because maybe they're not getting the help that they need. Maybe they just need a different opinion, a different person to talk to, and it's okay, because ultimately they're your downline, and that's the fluff that's going to help you in your business. So yes, absolutely. Reach out to those people that are in your downline. It is not stepping on anybody's toes, because like I said, and what Anna says all the time, we are better together. And maybe someone just doesn't have the time, and they're not putting in that extra little bit that consultant may have needed, and you could have gave it to them. I hope that helps.
Yeah. Okay. All righty. I think you're next, Jen.
Okay. So the next thing that I was going to talk about is leadership. The leadership PRV. Many of you may not know, but in order to get paid at title, which is lead or above, you have to put in your 500 PRV in each and every month to get paid at title. That is important in your business. You don't want to have a team and not get paid at title yourself, because you're missing so much money that's laying on the table if you are not getting paid at title. Now, 500 PRV is what you need. That is $500. You guys may be thinking, oh my gosh, that is a lot of money. But honest to gosh, if you sit down and you make a plan, focus on your Scentsy Club. If you were to take the rest of this month and really focus on the, the Scary Good, right now is a really good scent that you can work on getting that in your Scentsy Club. We have the 3 harvest pack. You can work on getting that in your Scentsy Club. Make sure you guys are working and talking to your people about the Scentsy Club. That is the first thing that I focus on heavily, is Scentsy Club, because I want all the people to club with me, because that is PRV that I don't even have to work for. So that means once I get all of my PRV from my Scentsy Club, everything else that I get for the month is just icing on the cake. I do want to talk about GWV and TWV. GWV, because a lot of you guys get confused right now, you're going to see that number is the same for both of you until you hit director. But the GWV, and I get asked this a whole lot, so I know some of you guys probably have this question, is group wholesale volume. That is what you and everyone that has been sponsored under you is doing. TWV is your team wholesale volume. And what that means is everyone who's on your team. So for me, it's Wickless Scents and Down. We actually have 2 other teams. So those are not going to be included in my team wholesale volume. That will be included in your group. So I know there's some confusion there. While Anna was talking about something, it sparked that memory for me. So I jotted it down really quick. But there is a difference for right now until you get to director or get a director under you. Those will be remaining the same. So it's your team and your group until you get a director under you. So I wrote down the main focus should be Scentsy Club. Honest to gosh, I'm thinking I probably have, my Scentsy Club has gone down a whole bunch because I use those Scentsy Clubbers as my sponsoring. I usually try to switch them over to a consultant. So that's another thing. But that should be your main focus. That way, boom, that gets your leadership money out of the way. You don't even have to be worrying about getting paid at title because you have your Scentsy Club. So make sure you guys are creating flyers, talking about it. If you know you have a customer that has a favorite bar, make sure you tell them about the Scentsy Club. The biggest thing for me this month with the Scentsy Club, I've had 3 people sign up and I'm so over the moon about it because I was on a dry spell. We all go through that, is those whiff boxes. Let them know that they can get that $30 whiff box for 10% off in your club. You're going to buy it anyways. They can delete it but once they start learning how to use the club, they're not going to just delete that. They're going to be adding other things to it. Another thing that is our focus, I know Anna works with this idea too, is the 2x2x2 plan. That is my focus every single month. What that means, and those of you who have not seen the trainings or you don't know about them yet, is that it means the first 2 is 2,000 PRV every single month. That is my hands down, my first goal in order for the month. Because when you get 2,000 PRV, you're going to be earning an extra 5% commission. So that is 30% commissions on top of your team and your downline and all the extras that you can earn. The second 2 in that is 2 recruits. That should be your focus every single month. You should be trying to either flip your host. You should be trying to reach out to people who have showed interest in the past, keep talking about the join opportunity, and you will get those. So 2,000 PRV, 2 recruits. And if you do this, the last 2 is if you do this for two years, you'll be sure to have director or above status. If you do your 2x2x2, you do that every single month for 2 years, you will be sure to have director status or above. One thing that I do want to mention, I just watched a recent training on Katie Lassiter. If you guys have not watched it, comment in the chat and we can be sure to share that video again on our team pages. I think Anna did too. It was good. I watched it twice actually because she had a lot of good information in there. But one thing that she mentioned, and I think that I'm going to start implementing this in my own business, is that she recruits she works really hard in her business until she gets 1,000 PRV. And once she gets her 1,000 PRV, then she works on sponsoring. The reason why I want to work on this for me is I'm the type of person who cannot focus on more than one thing really well at the same time. So either I have a really good PRV month or I have a really good sponsoring month. I can't do both at the same time. So this way, once I get my 1,000, then you know what? I'm good. I'm going to start looking at my list of my potential recruits and I need to start working on seeing who I can flip. And you're going to work really hard until you get someone and then you can focus super hard about your next 1,000. So every 1,000 that you put in, if you're hitting your 2,000, that is your 2 people that you should be sponsoring. That is something that I'm going to be definitely focusing on because like I said, I have a hard time focusing on more than one thing really well. I can do anything really well, but I can only do the one thing at a time. Like I just can't. So if you guys want to see that video, it was so good, so powerful. So make sure you guys watch it. I'm going to make sure I go ahead and post it. I'll look for it and post it on both pages. If you guys don't have any more or any questions, or if you don't have anything, Anna, to add, I will hand it over to you.
Okay. And then I've already making like a list. I think I'll just make a post in both team pages with, these videos that we're mentioning. Cause I had one to go along with the 2x2x2 plan. I'm going to share that one. I'll reshare Katie's and I'll share the creating reports from Justin. So I'll just kind of make a post and put them all there. So they're all in one space.
Oh,
So that, I think that's the gist of our promoting kind of section of the training, right, Jen?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So does anybody have any questions on anything we talked about or anything about promoting, that kind of thing, before we move on? Because a lot of you guys had some great questions that you asked earlier in the team pages. So we're going to hit those. So let us know if you have any questions right now on the promoting part, but the Google Drive or anything like that. We'll kind of go over those and then move on. So let us know in the chat, or if you want to ask a question, unmute yourself, or I can unmute you and you can ask.
And definitely ask, guys, because if you have this question, 9 chances out of 10, somebody else has the same question. There's no dumb questions in this.
Right.
We are in our prime season right now, and we want everyone to thrive.
All right. Well, if there's no questions, or if you're typing, we'll come back to it. So we're going to move on. We had, like I said, a lot of good questions. And I'm going to hit one, and it was, how do you get interaction in your VIP group? So number one, if you don't have a VIP group, I highly recommend that you have one. And one bullet point is definitely, if you don't have one, when you start it, don't just go put anybody and everybody in there. Make sure you're putting your true VIP customers that have your back, that buy a lot, or if you're brand new, that are going to support you, like your really close friends and family. And then you can kind of add from there as you grow. I have removed people from mine before, and I've added new people, and I kind of reevaluate it over time. But make sure you have your core people who are really true hardcore VIP in there. Don't be afraid to tag people in posts, especially if they're fun posts or funny posts. Maybe if it's a nonsensey post, don't be afraid to tag them in if you know them, because we should be building relationships. So don't be afraid to tag them. I know a lot of people, I haven't done this yet because I don't know how some of my customers would like it, but I want to start doing it, to kind of saying, oh, thanks so-and-so for your order. And some who may order quite often may not want me to do that, but I'm going to verify with them first. But I do see other VIPs doing that as well. Hold on. Okay, got it. But be authentic and be yourself. You can have fun in there. We want to keep, that's where I'm trying to put a lot more of my Scentsy posts in there. I'll still post Scentsy on my personal, but when I'm pushing like sales or like LTOs, that kind of thing, I'm going to put it more in there to kind of keep my personal a little bit more personal, but I still get personal on my VIP as well. I go live in there quite often. I want them to see my face. That's where y'all, if y'all know me, we do our scent bags. We post a lot about our scent bags in there, that kind of thing. But just try not to be too salesy in there. You want it to be a more fun place, more where everybody, feels more comfortable. It's okay, Lauren. Let's see. Post tips and tricks. And I've been kind of taking a note from Chastity and some other ones. I've been doing Tip Tuesday. So every Tuesday I will hashtag Tip Tuesday and post a tip in there, whether it's with a product or even if it's not a Scentsy thing, and it's just some kind of tip or tricks. I know a lot of people, I posted last week or the week before that, and I've mentioned, I don't know how many times, the number on the bottom of the warmer dish as the number of cubics that you're supposed to put in there. And people were like mind blown that is the thing. And I did it in a party too recently, and they had like, I had no idea that was on there. So Tip Tuesday is the way to go for sure. Or Trick Tuesday or Trick Thursday, whatever you want to do. Like I said, go live and play games. And it doesn't always have to be for prizes. It could just be for fun. So, but if you have scent circles on hand, give away scent circles or whatever. And you can do it in there, and you don't have to say what it is. You can just randomly send you, say, hey, you won, and just throw it in the mail. And they're going to be surprised a couple of days later. So you have anything to add to that, Jen, before we move on? Okay.
The most important thing with the VIP, and like Anna said, is to keep it authentic and keep it personal. There's so many times where someone invites me to their VIP and I see like 500 people on there. Guys, you're not being personal with 500 people. You need to make sure, if you are building those connections with people, every time you see them comment, you're talking about their pictures or family photos and things like that, you guys are going to be building a relationship. So when you're VIP, they're going to be more willing to comment, like, do things. So that's why me and Anna have a very successful VIP, because we keep it authentic, we keep it personal, and we don't always just We don't just throw up a picture of a warmer and have our link. We are actually just sharing something that we might have just recently bought, the new enchanted pumpkin or whatever, and we're just saying how gorgeous it is. If they're interested, they will comment and they will reach out to you for a link. You don't have to throw that link up every time. Don't be salesy.
Yeah, I want to add one more thing when I'm thinking about that, and you're talking about photos and comment and stuff. I know a lot of team pages will say, you know, on Sunday, post your favorite pick from the weekend on the team pages. I love doing that in team pages because I like being able to see what you guys are doing and comment on that. But the algorithm, I think, is the same outside of a group and inside of a group. So I like to do that in my VIP as well. So I'll randomly do it. Hey, what'd you do this week? And post your favorite pick. And then I'm going to comment back. I'm not just going to let their comments sit there and just like them or love them. I'm going to say, oh my gosh, he or she is so cute. If it's their daughter, that looks fun. Say, like, people are going to start going to pumpkin patches and stuff and say, oh my gosh, y'all had a great time. I love, you know, that you went to pumpkin patch. I mean, create a conversation and go back and forth. If you just leave it there, you don't like it. I mean, if you want to create that just relationship, keep building that relationship in there too. So stuff like that, it doesn't always have to be Scentsy in your VIP. So
another idea is that if you got a new warmer and you got colored bulbs, post a couple pictures of them and be like, hey, help me figure out which color looks the best. It doesn't even have to be, hey, buy this.
Yeah.
It could be, hey, I got this new warmer. Does it look better here or does it look better there? A or B? Like, you getting their opinion and getting their feedback is also really good, because then it gets more people's attention and they'll chime in too. So there's so many different things that you can do to get an interaction.
Yeah, that's great.
Okay, next I'm going to be talking about how to prepare for the upcoming holidays. This was one of the questions that someone had. That was an excellent question, because honestly, we are almost mid-month, and about a week from now, we are going to be focusing on the holiday collection. So how to prepare. Right now, bulk sampling. That should be like, you want to get this stuff out into people's hands. So if you have any leftover counter cleaner, my suggestion is counter cleaner of the Perfect Peppermint or the soap. Make samples of it right now. Start dropping those in orders right now that you are bagging up for the harvest collection. I did that today. I did that yesterday. As they're getting their harvest collection orders, I am dropping in samples of things that are coming out that I happen to have on hand of what's about to come out. So that way I can get them turned onto it. Get those made up. Start focusing this week on getting things like that done. Make flyers, signage, anything that is time consuming, or if you want to start advertising for, like, get your signage for your parties, get signage done for your new boxes, for if you're doing scent bags, if you're doing mystery bags, if you're doing anything, get all your stuff done now. So that way you're prepared, because this is like Black Friday for us, but for like 2 or 3 months. Like, this is really truly a very busy time for us. So you want to make sure while you have downtime and before that Christmas starts hitting, because everybody loves Christmas, I already have people ask me about it, you want to be ready for it. Here in about a week, make sure you don't do it sooner than that. And don't, for the love of gosh, please don't do it even a week out. If you are not done with your PRV for the month, absolutely do not share anything from the holiday collection. Yes, they're going to see some things from other consultants, but they don't need to see it from you until you are ready, because all you're going to do is kill your sales. Now, if you got your 2,000 in and you're happy with where you're at, if you have your 3,000-4,000 in and you're happy where you're at, by all means, if it's a week out, start focusing on doing your bags for the next month. Focus on doing your pre-order. Start leaking. Have fun in your VIP. Start leaking one picture, one thing, and glorifying it for the day, and get them pumped for Christmas and start taking pre-orders that way. But do not start doing that until you are satisfied of where you stand with your sales for the month. Make sure you guys are making your list of people that you want to host. As you are posting some of these things that you're leaking of the Christmas, and someone's like, oh my gosh, I don't know which one I want, and you see someone that is interested in several things, ask them if they want to earn it for free. Start working on getting your host. Start reaching out to people who you know are Christmas fanatics and you know that they want to. Look at your list of people who have had parties from in the past, last year. Say, hey, you know what? You haven't partied in a year. You want to do another one because you did excellent. Make sure you guys are asking, and I saw this. I don't remember what page it might have been. I don't remember whose page it was. That someone was like, I can't get anybody to host a party from my post, or I can't get anybody to join from my post. Do not depend on Facebook for that to happen, because I will tell you right now that that never happens for me. I may post about it. I may post about hosts. I post about getting someone to join my team, guys. That's not how they join my team. They're joining my team is because I'm planting those seeds by making that post, and then I'm following up by bringing it up in conversation later. So when you're talking to someone, say, hey, you want to have a fun little party? Let's do it. So make sure you guys are doing that, making that list. Often or offer a personal shopping link. Someone that you's like, oh gosh, I'm going to be buying some Christmas presents, or I'm going to be buying $200 worth of stuff. Guys, don't be greedy. Let them have their own link. Just make sure like you give them their link, tell them that that's their shopping link, let them get their friends to shop from it. They're doing all the work. Some people just don't want a party. They just rather have the link. I have 2 or 3 going right now, and it's great because then they're sharing that with people that I wouldn't have made a contact with, and then I have a new contact with them. So guys, there's so many different ways that you can get pre-RV. There's different ways that you can prepare for the upcoming holidays. Make sure that you buy. Did those brochures go on sale yet? They did.
Yeah, they're available. Yeah, because mine should be coming in sometime this week. Yeah.
Didn't buy mine.
Yeah. Yeah, I was gonna say, for anybody who didn't know, the Christmas stuff comes out October 1st. So
Yes.
like that's like in a few weeks.
When you get off this video, go buy them, because that's what I'm going to do.
Well, see, and I didn't think about it either and I was closing a party last week, and I was like, I put in my little business supplies customer in there, and I got like 2 packs because if I didn't do it while I was thinking about it, I was going to forget. So
Yeah, so guys, definitely plan ahead, make those samples, get them out, because I'm super excited about this, because like I love Christmas, and I know that everybody does well, and October usually is our best month. So I'm just so excited to see how you all do. That's all I have, unless Anna has something else.
I think that was all I was going to add to that, to make sure everybody knew when it come out and to go grab your brochures. And kind of like I just said, like Jen said, I'll probably start posting like little sneaks the last week, or like if I have any orders that need to go out, I will already have my little signage, whatever's going to go out, I'll put those in the bag. So that way we're right there at the end, and then they'll be ready. And she was talking about host as well. There was somebody who attended a party that I closed last week, and she already said, yes, I'll host one, but I want it when the Christmas stuff comes out. But here's what I'm doing. I'm not going to start it on October 1st because stuff's going to sell out. So we're starting this like several days ahead of time so that they know when it's going to come out, and I can go and get orders, or they can have their link and they can order direct from themselves that day. So I'm going to start this a few days before so that it's not October 1st, so they're going to miss stuff. So and then I don't want my host to miss out on whatever she wants. Got a quick question.
Mm-hmm.
How do you handle if you're not ready to promote a new product that isn't, if you're not ready to promote a new product that isn't out yet, but someone reaches out to you because you've seen it from another consultant? I'll just say one thing. Well, number one, that's definitely a plus. They reached out to you and they saw it from somebody else. So that number one says you have good customer service and you're their person, or they would have just went ahead and ordered it from somebody else or put in their pre-order. But that's number one, that's a good thing. But Jen, you want to kind of wrap up on that one?
Sure. I honestly, that's a blessing, like Anna just said, because they are choosing you. And I have this happen every single time we have a new launch, because they know that I'll take care of them. I'm not going to rip them off anyway. They know they can count on me to get on there and get it and get out. But if someone reaches out to you and you're not ready to share it yet, that is okay. Talk to them privately in a message. You're not sharing it and advertising in your VIP. No one else needs to know. But if they already know that the gnome is coming out, that's what I'm super excited about. But the gnome is coming out next month on the 1st. You could be like, yeah, girl, it is. I haven't been ready to share it yet. I'm planning on doing next week. But if you are interested, then let's do it. It's going to be what, $30, $35. I'll take your pre-order, blah, blah, blah. You can definitely, let them know in private message. Don't make sure you shout it from the rooftops on your VIP because one person knows. but you know what? It's a blessing that they chose you. And that does happen. That does reflect on your customer service, and they want to be loyal to you.
That's right. That's right. Okay. One little short one, somebody was asking, how do you get out of state people to order? And number one thing, or well, I'm gonna say number two things. Number one would be partying, because you don't realize where your host has friends and where they used to live and where their family stays and that kind of thing. Because I mean, if you say people you went to high school with, if like I still live in the same town, I've been born and raised here, but a lot of people I went to school with moved elsewhere. So, and they have families there. So they have contacts that I don't know. So partying is always a great way to grow your customer base for sure. And then it's taking care of them, treating them like gold. And then they will eventually host or might even join, that kind of thing, or continue just to, you know, they could be just Scentsy lovers, who knows. But, and don't be scared to ask for referrals. Ask your customers now for referrals, or say if, let's say somebody doesn't want to host or they don't need any restock or anything. Now you're following up to say, well, do you know anybody who loves Scentsy, you know, whether they're in state or out of state, you know, ask them for referrals. It's all I can say is no, or send you somebody. So you never know. And then one other thing I did, and then I saw that Taylor K from our group, she shared it again. I hadn't shared it in a while, but I created, and I kind of got this idea, I think from Michelle Hall. I think I'm see if I can, it's probably not going to show very well. My goodness, it's not. Okay, you can kind of see it. But I downloaded like this map and I could color it. And so my like color is like a pink color. So I color all the states that I have customers. And then like I'd share it and like take my husband out. I'm like, my goal is to fill up this entire map pink with having customers in every state. Okay, so I have not moved on. Most of the East Coast is covered, but I need some more customers. So I'm going to share that again. So thanks, Taylor K, for posting your stories today from our team so that I can push this again. So that's definitely another way. Let's see. And then Jen's got one more, and then we'll open it up.
Before I go to the next one, just remember that when it comes to out-of-state people, that basically when you treat your customers like gold, they're going to treat you like gold as well. So they're going to bring their friends, and then their friends are going to bring their friends, and their friends are going to bring their friends. And that's how I have built a very good customer base. Like my customer base is pretty solid right now, and I'm consistent. So just make sure that you guys are, and I don't mean buying them. I mean always being there, being the first to announce things, being grateful. Let them show that, or show them that you are so grateful for them. Like make them feel like they're number one, even if it's just by a handwritten note. That'll go a long ways. They will bring everybody to you as long as you are good to them. So that is like really the biggest takeaway from that, because most of my customer base, 90% of my people are long distance. There's in my respiratory department, we're probably up to like 20 or 25 of us that sell Scentsy in the same department at the hospital. And yet we all thrive. So I depend on, I let them do their thing with everybody who's local. And I lean on my long distance people, and it's really amazing. The next thing that was a question that we got some feedback from today was how to deal with any type. I opened it to a broad, not just depression and anxiety and things like that, but any type of stress. And I say that because we are in a very weird world right now. So where everybody has something going on, either someone's passing away or we're dealing with school drama and schooling, and just there's a lot of things going on. So every single one of us is being affected by this. So we're all dealing with stress, but it's very important that we stay motivated to work our businesses. We have to. And what I'm going to talk about what I do, Anna can talk about what she does or anything that I may have missed. But the main thing when I'm feeling down and I don't feel like doing Scentsy today, because it's very important that you do Scentsy, I revisit my why. What is it that brought you to Scentsy? What is your why? What do you want from this business? And whenever your why is so powerful, it will motivate you. And if it doesn't, then you have to dig deeper and figure out your true why, because you will find your motivation whenever you know that you joined because you need to make your car payment, or you joined because you need to pay a medical bill, or whatever it may be. Whenever you find your true why, that will motivate you every single time. Something else that I have personally done myself is I pick out 3 scary goals. I pick out 3 scary goals. I don't mean something that is easily attainable. I pick out something that's going to take me time to work for. Either it's your dream board that you do. I used to do that. I actually, at this point, just pick out 3 goals. And I tape them up to my wall by my desk area. And those, it's like, I'm constantly reminded. One of them, and I'm going to share them with you. One of them was a $10,000 Scentsy paycheck in 1 month. I printed that out last year. I carried it on to, because I never hit that. I carried it on to my goal for this year. My goal is by December of 2021 is to hit my first $10,000 paycheck. That is a big, scary goal. Will I hit it? I don't know, but I'm going to try awful darn hard to make that happen. My second scary goal was to buy this, it was a certain house, which plans have changed. So now I'm turning that into remodeling, but that is my second goal. That was my second goal, is to be able to dump into a house. And my third scary goal was to hit Star Director, which I've already hit that one. So that one I've marked off my list. So I have 2 left to work for this year. So by putting that in my face and by seeing it, and I have it up here on the thing, whenever I'm feeling not motivated, or I have an accountability partner, which happens to be Anna, she kicks my butt sometimes. I'm like, oh, I don't feel like doing this. You know, it's really good to have that, because me and Anna also feel that way. It's normal. It's normal. We get burned out. Burnout is real. But whenever you think about why you're doing this, that is when you're like, okay, let's do this. So, one thing that I did start doing for myself as of this fall catalog is making time for myself. I used to try to do Scentsy every single day, all day long, whenever I got a free second. But you know what? One thing that got pounded in my head when we did the SFR is that these leaders were saying there's not a such thing as a Scentsy emergency. And I felt like I had to reach out and answer all the questions. No. At a certain time, I put it off to the side, my phone off, I don't respond to the next day, and I have me time. That is very important for me, because then that's my time to recharge. I'm not thinking about anything but what I am doing with my husband and watching a show or whatever we're doing. So make sure that you are making your plan for each week, and make sure that you have a day, even if it's a Sunday, have one day to where you're not really doing anything Scentsy. I mean, I'm not saying nothing at all. Like, you can legit be commenting and making connections with your customers, but you are at least doing, you do something like that, but you're at least not working, making samples, sending emails, answering questions, things like that. You're having me time. That is really, really important. One thing I've also learned, and you may try to flip it and think of the positive when something crazy is going on in your life, Scentsy has been my distraction. Whenever I've gone through life changes, or I don't know, I've had a lot of bad luck in the last 2 years, Scentsy is my distraction. And so whenever something's tough and something's going on with me, then I bury myself in Scentsy a little bit, and I seem to get things done that way. So it really just depends on how you flip it and how you want to look at your situation. And the last thing that I want to make sure that I mention is that even though you may be going through something, you're sick, or just something that's going on in your life, always try to be intentional and try to be consistent on whatever that means. Consistency is different in many shapes and sizes. Everybody's consistency is super different, but you need to make sure you are being consistent still. Either it's in your VIP, because you don't want to lose your customer base. I see this happen to other leaders that have been above me or under me. It doesn't even really matter who it is. I've seen other leaders get so distracted by what's going on in their lives that they don't they're not consistent in their Scentsy business. And then those customers move on to somebody else. And once you lose that customer base, it's really hard to get them back, because they'll find somebody else that they trust and they stick to them. I've had that happen with people who they had other consultants, and then they just kind of came over to me, told me the situation. They're just like, and it's really hard. You have to maintain that trust with your customers. So if you aren't consistent, your business will suffer, and that's guaranteed. So it's really, truly important. Even if you have to schedule your post ahead of time, even if your consistency just means scheduling 1 or 2 posts a day in your VIP, you need to make sure that they know you're still there, and that there should never be a question on their mind. Like, does she still sell Scentsy? Because they should already know. I think that's about it. If Anna has anything to add to that.
I do have one. It just came to me while you were talking, and I wrote it down so I wouldn't forget it. But and I kind of went live, like, I don't even know if it was like a week or 2 ago, it might have been 2 weeks ago, at my team page, and tried not to bawl my eyes out, but because I wouldn't say I've been in the stage of burnout. I don't know if I'm gonna label it that. I think it's just life. It's not Scentsy. I think it's just life. And I think Jen could totally relate. And a lot of people, when I went live in there, y'all were relating on my team page too. So, but give yourself grace. Okay. I mean, we are not perfect. Nobody is perfect. We can't do all the things every single day. We're going to fail forward. It's not about how many times you get knocked off. It's about how many times you get back up. So just give yourself grace. I mean, if you don't get, like, I mean, I said this thing about housework. If the world is not going to end if I don't wash the dishes today. They may look better in my kitchen. I may feel better, but if I don't get to them, it's fine, you know. But like she said, just still be consistent. Don't not show up, because I think that's one thing when I went live in there and I was kind of spilling my emotions and kind of keeping it real with my team was, I mean, they still were like, but you still are showing up in the team page. And I'm like, because that's what I'm supposed to do, and I want to be there. I'm not going to not show up for my customers, even though I had a bad day or a bad week, bad month, bad year, whatever. So you just kind of got to be consistent. And like Jen said, Scentsy, I mean, for the most part, is my happy place. I could work all day, want to come home and, you know, work Scentsy nonstop. But I have also, like Jen, started making time. This is dedicated family time, you know, and it may change, you know. Or, you know, this day I'm not going to do such and such with Scentsy. I may still post, you know, change the wax or whatever, but it's family time or whatever. Relax, you know. So don't go, I say, don't go ham, don't go hard all the time. Because y'all know I eat, breathe, and live Scentsy. But give yourself grace, rest, do what you can. You know, do things like she's like scheduling posts to take the stress off of you. Yes. And life happens. Everybody's dealing with something, especially now. I think 2020, ever since 2020, everybody's dealing with something more than we normally would, for sure. But just give yourself grace. So, see if I have any questions on any of those or any additional questions. It's almost coming up an hour. I don't want to keep y'all too long. So,
for sharing, we've had some really good questions.
Yes. Y'all just comment in the chat or unmute yourself if you want to ask a question or make a comment. And then give y'all a few more seconds. Nobody? All right. What if y'all do? You know, you can reach out to us, posting the team pages. We are super thankful for every single one of y'all for showing up tonight and taking this out of your time, especially we rescheduled. And we have some other exciting things that we are going to be working on coming up. So 2 kind of things. One's kind of going to lead to the other. So stay tuned for that. I will get this recording posted probably tomorrow morning, because it's time for me to go put my children to bed. And then I will post all these other videos we were talking about, reports and all that, and I'll share the Google Drive as well. So thank y'all again for coming, and we hope y'all have a good night.
Night.
Bye.